Miguel and Mirabel reveal more details of their adventures in the land of the dead, with the Madrigals being intrigued by how similar they are to the Riveras. Once they learn about the history of the Rivera family and how they became connected to the Madrigals through Pedro, the two families start to get a better understanding of each other as they see that they are not so different after all. Alma then asks Mirabel if she could demonstrate her gift, only to get severely reprimanded by everyone for supposedly trying to exploit Mirabel's gift for her own selfish desires, when in reality it was because Alma just wanted to see if Mirabel's gift worked properly or not. Mirabel scolds the two families for giving Alma the same treatment that they gave her, Bruno, and Hector, which shames them enough into staying silent. Mirabel and Miguel then head to the workshop to talk over how they can get Alma to redeem herself in the eyes of the family and whether Mirabel should use her gift or not. When Miguel suggests that she have Pedro and the spirit test the Madrigal's resolve so she can confirm whether or not they have changed, Mirabel accepts as the best solution. The chapter ends with the two of them assuring that they will always be friends, if not family, no matter what happens in the future, before exiting the workshop together. Mirabel and Miguel find Rose and Isabella nearly getting into a catfight with their respective family members struggling to hold them back. Mirabel then announces her intention to bring the Madrigals to the land of the dead and meet Pedro and the spirit with them. Though the Riveras and Madrigals are worried that Mirabel is being forced to do this by Alma, she insists that she's doing this of her own free will and asks them all to trust her. They all agree to let Mirabel take the Madrigals with her to the land of the dead, with Miguel having Dante accompany Mirabel in Miguel and the Rivera's place. The Riveras see the Madrigals and Dante off in the ofrenda room, where the portal is summoned by Mirabel and shown to the Madrigals. They all leave one by one, with Alma and Mirabel being the last ones to enter the afterlife before the portal closes up behind them. The Madrigals, along with Dante, then walk across the Marigold Bridge, where they meet up with Juanita, who immediately becomes suspicious of their intentions towards Mirabel the moment Mirabel introduces her to them. When Mira assures the guard that her family means well and simply wishes to meet up with Pedro, Juanita agrees to help guide them to his home. As they explore the Colombian branch, they meet up with the Jimenezes, who are receptive to Mirabel, Bruno, and Antonio, but remain hostile towards the other Madrigals, with Alma receiving the most of their scorn and criticisms. The Madrigals quickly find themselves being disliked and the subject of nasty commentary by the other souls residing in the land of the dead due to Mirabel's negative comments about her family spreading rather quickly to the point of tainting the Madrigal's reputation. They finally arrive at the home of Pedro, with Juanita leaving them to go back to work, with Mirabel finally introducing Pedro and the spirit to them. To the surprise of Mirabel and her family, they also find Imelda and the other Riveras at Pedro's house, though things get awkward when Alma gets hit in the face by a shoe yet again, only this time it was by Imelda's. Imelda and her family prove to be just as hostile and distrustful towards the Madrigals like their living relatives, which makes the atmosphere more uncomfortable for the Madrigals. They all decide to congregate on the roof where Pedro introduces the Riveras to his family, but not before lecturing them over the way they treated Mirabel, Bruno, and the Miracle. With Antonio being the sole exception, the other Madrigals are left with shame on their faces, with Alma being the most devastated by her husband's lecture. The spirit then decides to show Alma and Pedro's past as a way to punish Alma, while also giving everyone a chance to see the events that led to the creation of both the Encanto and the Casita. Once the spirit finishes the flashback, Alma is left a complete wreck, while the others are completely speechless and sympathetic towards both Pedro and Alma. Alma then apologizes to everyone once again, while admitting that everything was indeed her fault, and even accepts the possibility of no one ever forgiving her for what she had done. Fortunately, Mirabel is willing to forgive her after seeing just how sorry she is, with the others joining in, thus allowing the Madrigals to finally reconcile with each other. They all celebrate by eating dinner together and getting along for the first time, thus establishing a strong friendship between the two families. The chapter ends with Mirabel and some of her cousins and sisters riding on Pepita alongside Imelda, while the rest of their family watch with smiles on their faces.